go on the boat ride earlier this week?
I did. That was a good time.
What was your favorite part of that?
Dolphins. It was really, really cool, actually. We kind of chased a pack of dolphins around for 10, 15 minutes. I'd never been that close to a dolphin, so that was cool for me. I know everybody had their phones out and was filming it, so it was a good time for everybody. But yeah, it was good overall. Awesome of Dorian to do that. I think it was great for us as a group, kind of coming into camp to kind of reset ourselves as an offense before rolling into this thing. But yeah, I mean, it was a great time. Obviously, appreciate Dorian for doing that, and that's why he is who he is. That's why he's the leader of this offense and this team, and it kind of just shows you why he's in that position too.
Is that kind of just one example of how NIL can kind of change the experience for college athletes? I mean, you guys got to have this amazing boat ride as a result of that, basically.
Yeah. Obviously, I couldn't tell you how it was 5-10 years ago, but I'd imagine it's a little different. Just in that aspect, I don't know if guys were going out on boats, 2 days before camp, just having a good time as a group on money that was, basically, football or athletic driven. Personally, I don't have a lot of experience with all that. I got to make some more plays and before that happens. But again, Dorian with the position he has, kind of the position he's in, it's cool to see him take advantage of it in that way instead of doing this some individual stuff that I know he can do. Gotta love being next to the hospital, baby.
Yeah, I can hear. Do you have any NIL deals?
Not any big ones, not any kind of income-based, deals. Just some, clothing brands on the side. Just some stuff that I've gotten, social media posts and exchange and some of that good stuff, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's cool to see how some of these guys can flip that stuff into bigger events like what we just did.
The last NIL question for football. You came from Duke. How would you kind of compare their NIL success to what you've seen here?
I think it's a little different just being in LA in the market that's here. I also think it was tough because it was the first year. Last year was kind of the first year this whole thing got rolling. So there wasn't a ton of opportunities like the Westwood Exchange and some of the UCLA stuff. I'm sure that's in the works back in Durham. But as we move along in this thing and get deeper into it, I'm sure a lot of schools are going to start doing kind of what UCLA is doing right now.
Is it kind of a big talking point in the locker room? Are you guys?
Not really. I mean, there's some playful jabs here and there, some jokes being thrown around, like do some of that NIL money for us or something like that. But I mean, nothing real. It's it doesn't create a divide by any means down there in the locker room. So that's a positive that I had a question about when this whole thing kind of got rolling. But it's cool to see that it doesn't nothing serious has really come out of that.
You've only had spring and 2 practices, but what are your thoughts on the offense right now? The explosiveness, the schemes, how everybody, how the chemistry is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I think you can see that this group has played together for a while. With Dorian and Zach and some of the guys up front, and kind of how they, work together, even with Cam and Kaz and some of those guys. It's cool to kind of step in and be a part of that chemistry with a group that's been playing together for 2-3 years. 4 or 5 if you're Dorian and some of those guys up front. But we're explosive. I think Coach Kelly does a great job of putting guys in positions where they can make big chunk plays. And then obviously you hand the ball to 24, you never know what's going to happen. So we got to make sure we get that guy the rock, and then on the perimeter we're blocking our tails off for him. But it's cool to be in an offense where any down and distance you can take it to the house, which we all know, we're all aware of. But it's good to be a part of that system.
As kind of the newcomer to the offense, how has your on-field chemistry with Dorian been so far?
I think it's been good. For me, it feels great. I give all the credit in the world to him and who he is and the type of player he is. I came in and he immediately took me kind of under his wing, so to speak. and you know, showed me the ropes, scheme, and some of that stuff. Took me through the playbook. Some of the, you know, Coach Kelly's offense can be daunting at times, and so, you know, he always says, you have questions, you know, text me, call me, whatever. I take full advantage of that. You know, sometimes I'm sure he doesn't appreciate it that much, but you know, he's been great and kind of, you know, helping me along and give me shots to make plays too, which, you know, got to make him right when he does.
Is there something that kind of sets him apart from like past quarterbacks you've played with?
Yeah, his ability just to the explosiveness. I think bottom line is with his arm and his legs is different than kind of what I've been around. I've been around some really good quarterbacks back at Duke my last 4 years, but the difference kind of with him is the combination of his legs and his arm. You know, he can scramble and get out of the pocket, and you know, next thing you know, he's 20-25 yards down the field, and you know, at the snap of a finger, that stuff happens. That's kind of what sets him apart. He can make good plays with his arms, but then you look away for a second, and he's got a 30-yard scramble.
Been here for a couple months now. Now you're in the Pacific chasing dolphins and everything.
Yeah.
How are you liking the LA SoCal lifestyle so far?
Yeah, I think LA's, you know, took some getting used to, just how big, and you know, there's a whole lot of people here. But it's been awesome so far. There's always something to do. You know, right now, not really having to worry about that in the month of August, these next 3 weeks, not really having to worry about that. But you know, you got the beach right there. You got downtown. Santa Monica is a great spot. So I've been having a lot of fun. You know, hanging out with these guys especially. But there's never a dull moment in LA. And, you know, that's been good.
A lot of teammates from LA and from California, they kind of help show you the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, show you the ropes, show you the spots. Yeah, those guys have definitely helped out a little bit in the transition for sure.
You kind of divided the fan base with your comments on in and out. Have you found anything else that has satisfied you? Anything closer to home?
Listen, I'm not gonna say I take back those comments. I have a different appreciation for In and Out. I have, you know, a couple guys on the team that taking me down there a bunch of times, giving me a hard time. It's a good burger. It's a solid burger. It's just when you compare it to some other restaurant. Anyway, I think Fat Sal's down there is a great spot. Angry Moon's down there is a great spot. You got classic Chipotle down there on Westwood Boulevard. Yeah, there's a plethora of options down there in downtown Westwood, which has been great.
So no NIL deal from In and Out.
No, yeah, I don't blame him either after that last episode. I don't blame him.
Is there a burger place in Durham or in Boston that you like more than In-N-Out? What are you measuring it against?
The cookout scene in it's a restaurant called Cookout. Have you ever had Cam Brown shaking his head over there?
I've had it.
Cookout's a good spot. Kind of measuring up against In-N-Out. Say what you will.
You talked about being able to text anytime. Have you sent any like late night texts or?
Like you up text? Any of those? No, I tend to stay away from those. No, but I mean, I'm sure if I did, he'd be open to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.